I want to show you some of my favorite candles and home fragrances. You guys usually trust my recommendations, so I thought, you know what? I've pulled all of my favorite products out. I've got candles, reed diffusers, broom spray, and we can go one by one and maybe you'll see something that you love. I was going to start with something different, but we may as well do the candle that I'm holding. This is by the brand Green Nation. It's their espresso and cream candle. This is the most delicious coffee scented candle I have ever smelled in my life. I promise I'm not exaggerating. I found this randomly at Coles one night. I smelled it in the jar and I was like, oh my God, this smells incredible. It's even more amazing when it's burning. And actually, because I'm that person, I've actually got one going under my candle warmer lamp as well. If you haven't got a candle warmer lamp, you absolutely need to. I got this one from Dust. They were on sale, so I actually bought two. Yes, I've got this one going upstairs and then the other one burning downstairs. And I bloody love it. I cannot explain how nice it smells. So if you see it, it's so worth it. And Green Nation, can you please bring it back? Because I cannot buy it on the website. All right, so now we're going to move on to a room spray. This is actually by NudeLucy. I was so surprised by this. I'm so sorry. I wish I knew her name, but I saw a girl post a video about the reed diffusers at NudeLucy. And I was like, what? I didn't even know they did them. Oh my gosh. It smells incredibly sexy. I almost wish I could wear it as a cologne. It's got notes of citrus and oak. I'm still on the hunt for the reed diffuser, but I did actually buy the candle at the same time. And as you can see, I've gone through it. So yes, if you see it or you're walking past a NudeLucy store, go in and smell it. You will not be disappointed. And NudeLucy, if you're seeing this, can you please let me buy like 2 of the reed diffusers of this scent, please? Yeah, if you're someone who's not into like candles and reed diffusers, this is one of my favorite like incense brands. This is their Champa. I always say that I probably butcher that. But this scent, I don't know, it reminds me of like my youth, my teenage years. I'm really not sure, but this is so pleasant and beautiful to burn. Very, very calming. Sometimes if I'm like meditating in the morning, I like to get this going a little bit first and then sort of just, you know, zen out for a little bit, but it is beautifully fragrant. Touch of sweetness. It's quite floral. I usually just get these at the reject shop. Very inexpensive. They don't leave your room smelling smoky or anything like that. They're just really, really gorgeous. So this is like one of my favorites ever. Now I'll save like one of my favorite candles for last, but another candle that I bloody love, this is Tales of Coney Island by Glasshouse. So they first came out with this when I used to work at Peter Alexander, like literally a million years ago. And they've just recently brought it back for their Vault collection. So of course I had to buy 2. I've got one that I'm keeping up on my nightstand, but this is a freshie. How can I describe this? It's probably one of their most subtle fragrances. So if you're usually used to that like really strong, impactful sort of Glasshouse punch, this isn't that, but not everyone wants that in a candle. So if you're someone who is a little bit more sensitive to fragrances, this could be a really good option for you. Their description is caramelized sugar with fig and vanilla blossom. And it's definitely just that really subtle, almost floral, but definitely more on the sweeter, sugary side, but not like a tacky vanilla or something like that. It is just really, really lovely. And like I said, it's pretty subtle, but sometimes that's nice and that's all you need after like a busy day or something like that. So yes, now that they brought that back, I'm very, very happy. When I was younger, I remember when this came out, I was disappointed that it wasn't so punchy, but now as I'm a little bit older, I kind of actually really appreciate that a little bit more. So it just takes me back to my pajama days. Actually, speaking of candle, I've talked about these before, but instead of using a lighter, I use one of these like rechargeable USB-C little laser thingies. Almost looks like a weapon. I promise it's not. But yeah, I just get mine off Amazon. They're pretty inexpensive and they're easy to charge by USB-C. I don't know, keep one upstairs, downstairs. They're really handy. Last few things, some last room sprays. These are both by Mask. Of course, you knew this was coming, the caramel popcorn scent, which unfortunately has now been discontinued, but you can usually find it at Woolies for about $10. So definitely have a hunt. But they recently sent me a little pack that had a few of different air fresheners in it. And one of my favorites is actually fairy dust. How can I describe it? I was pleasantly surprised. And a lot of you in the comments said that this was one of your favorites too. It's very fresh. It almost smells like a cologne that I've used before, or maybe like an ex-boyfriend, which I really need to stop liking scents that remind me of my ex-boyfriends. Remind me to book that therapy appointment. Anyway, I really, really enjoy this. It's quite fresh. I was thinking that it was going to be like really sugary and sweet, but it's not. It's just quite almost unisex, cologne-y, eau de toilette-y. Check the website. I'm sure they'll give you a good description, but yeah, pleasantly surprised by that. So full transparency, Musk sent that to me, but opinions of my own as always. Considering I've spent about 60 bucks on this bloody thing alone, I picked up this random Wattle and Caramel Reed Diffuser at Coles the other night. I don't know if this is like their own brand or what, but yeah, I saw it was pretty inexpensive and I thought, do you know what, I'm just gonna give it a try. And every time I walk up my staircase, this hits me at the top and I'm like, do you know what, that is really lovely. It's not an over the top caramel. The wattle isn't like super prominent, but it's quite, I don't know, grounded. Somehow the two scents work together. And yeah, it's just a really lovely combo and it's unexpected. So it's always a lovely surprise when I walk up my stairs. All right, and then lucky last, I told you I was a Peter Alexander boy. The OG themselves, a Taha affair. And as you can see, it's the size of my head. So this is one of the Glasshouse 760 gram ones. Now this is a tie between my other favorite candle of all time, which is the Amalfi Coast and Amalfi, or whatever they want to call it now. But I usually buy that one in the jumbo size, but I recently just ran out of that. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to invest in Taha affair. You only have to burn this for like an hour or two and your whole house is filled. But yes, it's a classic for a reason. It's definitely one of those you either love it or hate it scents. When I worked at Peter Alexander, we used to get so many complaints on it, but I don't bloody care. It's beautiful, it's deliciously creamy, and like 90% of people love this scent. So yes, I invested and got the giant size. So remind me to get the Amalfi Coast one next. There we go, short but sweet, just some of my favorite scents that I use around the house. Let me know your favorite candles, reed diffusers, fragrance brands. Like I said, if you haven't got a candle warmer lamp or one of those little like rechargeable USB lighters, do yourself a favor and go get some. The candle warmer lamp sometimes I just find can completely transform a candle too, especially if it's on the cheaper side. I don't know, it just melts it all the way through and it unleashes the fragrance that you can actually smell it. Don't forget to follow me for more of my shopping recommendations if you aren't already. Have a lot of fun over here. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.